Hey guys, this is LCA3374 coming at you with another video. I got a message yesterday from some guy off of YouTube, and he was asking me some questions about my whole process, about the whole process of enlisting and boot camp and MOSs and workout tips and everything for guys who are a little bit overweight and possibly a little bit older than your normal recruit, like not being 18, being in your 20s or whatnot. Because I'm going to be 20 this April, and most likely still won't be back in the dip. Um, but I figured, he asked me if I could help him out a little bit, give him as much advice as I can, put him in the right direction, that sort of thing. So here's basically what I know as of right now. The Marine Corps, last time I talked to the staff sergeant in charge of my recruiting station, said that the Marine Corps was downsizing. Basically means people that are enlisted and are basically meeting the minimum standards, they're kind of being processed out. If you're serving your 4 years, you're getting your discharge and everything. I've been seeing it a lot more, with people that I know that are in the Marine Corps, they're that are meeting just minimum standards and not really exceeding the standards, I guess you could say. They're kind of getting like told like, hey, thanks for your service, but get out. Um, and then the people that are trying to enlist into the Marine Corps, it's getting a little harder due to the downsizing. I don't know if that's still going on. That's the last time I checked, and last time I talked to them about it. Um, I'm not in any way like affiliated with the Marine Corps anymore. I'm not a poolie. I'm not anything. This is just from what I remember. Um, when I enlisted, it was still pretty hard, but I was really out of shape. I just had a fucking gung ho mindset. Like I wasn't taking no for an answer, and they saw that. That's why my recruiter sat there and fought for me to get up to MEPS and try to get out as quick as I can. Um, my workout tips would be for someone that's a little bit overweight is run your fucking ass off. If you're not a strong runner, or if you don't feel like you're gonna be able to make the run time for your initial strength test, your IST, start running before you even step into a recruiter's office. Because if you go in there not knowing, like, first of all, look up what the standards for the Marine Corps are. Meet those standards before you go into a recruiting office. Don't necessarily exceed those standards. Don't kill yourself because they'll get you there. But at least meet those standards. Because if you go in there showing them that you basically have what they want down, they're gonna be like, holy shit, this kid's not fucking around. He really wants to get in the shit and whatnot and do this. At least that's how it was at my recruiting station. If you went in there and you were freaking, like, I was overweight, but if you were shittier than me, then come on. That's just saying, I just want the Marine Corps to whip me into shape. Don't use the Marine Corps for that. That's stupid. Don't use any branch for that, really. Um, but getting off topic. Um, Go in there with the mindset of you have what you want down. Show them that you have pretty much what you have your ISD down. Do your pull-ups, and tell them if they don't even ask you, if they don't even bother asking you, oh, can you run a mile and a half in under 18 minutes, I think it is, or whatever, or 15. I'm sorry. Um, uh, then tell them, oh, by the way, I can run a mile and a half in under so and so, and I can do more than two pull-ups. If you can't do more than two pull-ups, which I might not be the strongest guy, and I probably can't get over more than six, right? Well, being that I haven't worked out in like a while, but if you can't get more than two, start doing those two. Start doing lightweight training. Don't become a fucking juice head and get all huge. Not saying take steroids, but like don't get huge because muscle weighs more than fat, and you're not gonna have any of that if you go to boot camp anyways. At least from the experience that I've seen with my friends, you know. Um, Work on your stamina. Do If you're gonna weight train, do light weights, lots of reps, build that lean muscle up. That's what my recruiter had me and this other kid doing before we were supposed to ship out. He took us to Planet Fitness and was working us out twice a day, and then we also had PT some days too, so 3 times a day, some days during the week. Um, like I said, run a lot, hydrate, get used to drinking water. Fuck soda, fuck juices, drink orange juice in the morning or whatever to keep your friggin' immune system up and whatnot. Anything else, Gatorade, fuck that shit. Water. Water, water, water. H2O. Put it in your fucking body and in your mind. Live off of that shit. If you have to cut weight, water. Plain and simple. That's what I had to do. I had to drop over a little bit over 20 pounds when I first got into the dep, and trust me, I was like, fuck it, you know, they're gonna have me running and sweating my balls off anyways. It's a lot harder than what you think. But it's not impossible to do in a specific amount of time if you really want it. If you don't really want it, you're gonna find excuses, and it's just not gonna work out for you. If you want it, you're gonna get it. I got it. I got my shit down decently quick. You know, it took me a little bit to really figure out, like, okay, they're not fucking around, but I got it. Um, Drink lots of water. Try to stay away from carbs as much as you can. Breads, pastas, all that shit. Unless you're gonna, my advice is, I did what, you know, that whole runner's secret thing, like, you know, when you go and you're supposed to run like a lot, the next day you eat like pasta the night before, so you have like a kind of like a carbo load. Don't overdo it. Eat enough so you have those carbohydrates. You know, especially when you know you have PT. If you know you have PT the day before, or you have a pool function that you have to go to at the end of the month, or whatever, that's when I would, you know, eat a little bit more carbs. But other than that, the rest of the month, the rest of the weeks, I would stay away from that shit as much as I can. No candy, fuck that shit. Um, yeah, I'm saying this now, and I gained like a pretty substantial amount of weight back. But I'm trying to keep it off, especially since I do want to re-enlist and get back in and get the fuck out of this state and, you know, become a Marine. But anyways, pull-ups. I do mine palms in. That's how I do mine. Wide handle, wide grip. I mean, you pull them down like that. I try doing shoulders. It's hard as shit, but I can get about 2.5. Sucks, but I'm not used to doing it that way. But my suggestion is when you're doing pull-ups, my recruiter had me doing it. He had me do as many as I could my natural way, how I like to do it, and then he would sit there and get me on the assisted pull-up machine, which had me start banging them out this way, inside, wide grip, in between, as many as I could. And your best bet, if you're not already depped in and you're just trying to work out so you can feel comfortable about stepping in or going to talk to recruiters so you know what you already can do and can't do, I suggest getting a friend, someone that's and this will help you out too, especially if they're interested in, you know, enlisting too, because the more people you get to enlist, you get promotions, and you know, you get like little incentives, I guess you could say. Um, but get a buddy. That's your best bet, you know. Even if you don't know the person too well, even if it's someone that, you know, you heard around school or whatever, or, you know, someone that you graduated with might be thinking about enlisting, you know, hit them up on Facebook. Yo, be like, what up? Like, I'm trying to, you know, I want to enlist in the Marines. You know, I heard you might be interested in it, or, you know, or even if you don't, even if they're not, you know, I heard you work out a lot. Think about getting together. You want to, you know, spot me sometime. You want to, you know, workout partners, whatnot. It's not gay, even if it is. Like, if you are, I'm sorry, not trying to be fucking weird about it. Like, I don't care either way. But yeah. Uh, you know, don't look for excuses not to do it. That's the worst thing. You know, everybody has their doubts about it, but you know, if it's something you want, you're not gonna have really any excuses to do it. Yeah, everybody gets in their pissy moods where they don't want to work out and shit, but you got to do it, especially if you're a little bit overweight. And for the guy that messaged me, I remember you saying you were around like 6 feet, 200, and I think you said like 30 pounds. I don't know what the Marine Corps standards are for someone who's 6 feet. But I was like 220, and I'm only 5'10", 5'11", and I had to get down to 180, and I did it in like 2 months. So it's not impossible. You just gotta be fucking moto as shit and not give a fuck and just work your ass off, and fucking your body says I'm gonna die, you say fuck you, I'm keeping you going. It's all you really gotta do. It can be done. I'm letting you know. Um, as for contracting and MOS and your MOSs and whatnot, I was going reserves, and I'll let you know right now, nothing in the Marine Corps is guaranteed unless it's signed on paper, and even then, it's a little sketchy. Uh, um, when I enlisted, I had the mindset that I was going to college still. Like I wanted to apply to school. I wanted to go reserves. Because I always wanted something to fall back on. Because my recruiter told me the Marine Corps is downsizing, and I didn't want to be left in the dust, if anything were to happen. So I definitely wanted to get my schooling in, and I was gonna go reserves, get my criminal justice degree, so I could do the whole cop thing or something, after. Excuse me, but for contracting. When you go and you talk to your recruiter, he's gonna have you look at the little building blocks of the Marine Corps. You sit there and you pick out like what leadership traits basically fit you the most. He'll ask you a couple questions. What are you looking for to get out of the Marine Corps? Why do you want to join the Marine Corps? Basically just to get a little insight into your head and what you're thinking. And then he'll ask you, what jobs are you looking at? And if you haven't already taken the ASVABs, he'll have you do a practice test or have you take one out of school, or if you go up to MEPS, you'll take it there. And that's just basically to see if you're smart enough to get into the job field you want. If you're not smart enough, not for nothing, the most you can do is probably be a grunt, which, is not a bad thing. I did pretty decent on my ASVABs, and I picked mortarman. I wanted infantry. I was gonna take military police, then I was going to go artillery, and then I said fuck it, I want to be an O3. That was just me. My family had, they were pissed. Especially my grandfather, who served in Nam as a grunt in the Marines. He got all shot up and whatnot, Purple Heart recipient and whatnot. But yeah, he wasn't too happy because he knows the life. But anyways, when you go and you contract, if you're going reserves, it's supposed to be a guaranteed MOS, because you pick a specific field, and that's the unit that you're going to be training with. My closest one was a the truck, what is it? Motor T. That was the closest one for Providence, Rhode Island. It was in Providence, Rhode Island. I didn't want that, but I figured, they kind of talked to me, and they kind of like snaked in a little bit. They're like, "Oh, you can lap move and whatnot after your first contract and everything." And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I want to be a Marine. I don't give a fuck about my job title. I want to be a Marine. I want to get my fucking college degree. And once I graduate from college, I want to lap move into active duty, which is pretty hard, I guess, from what they say. And become active duty, switch my MOS up. Not uncommon, but still hard enough so not everybody can do it. And that's what I had my mindset at. But when I was going up to MEPS, I told I told my recruiter, I was like, you know what, I really don't want to do motor T. I don't want to drive trucks. I don't want to fix trucks. I hate that shit. I barely like changing the oil in my car. I'll take it someplace if I have to. So I sat there. He called me up 20 minutes into my ride to Boston. He's like, hey, you said infantry, right? And I was like, yes, sir. And he's like, I don't have a rifleman spot, but I have mortarman. And I was like, I'll take it. I'll take it. 0341 all the way. I'll take it. And he was like, good to go. I was like, good to go, sir. He sat there, made the call. When I got up there, everything was all set up for me. Met my Marine Corps liaison, who at MEPS you will meet. They are pretty cool guys. They're a little bit more hardcore than your recruiters, because they basically put it in check, like, motherfucker, you're going into my Marine Corps. They're not your buddies, but they're still there to mentor you and make sure everything goes smoothly. So they're not all too intimidating. Pretty scary though. Anyways, when I contracted, I was supposed to be 0341 reservist mortarman out of Massachusetts. That was going to be my reserve unit base. They actually were, I believe they just gotten back from a deployment, and I met the staff sergeant in charge. He's a pretty cool guy. He was a drill instructor, so he gave me the lowdown. And yeah, that was a fun trip. But yeah, usually contracting, unless you're reserves, you don't have really a set contract. You know, the Marine Corps is gonna put you where they really want you. Like you're gonna you like, and I'm not trying to be like stupid and scary about it, but you know, if you pick 0311, let's say rifleman, basic rifleman, you pick that contract, you'll go through boot camp. At the end, you know, you'll still have that 0311. You go to SOI, from what I understand, which is the School of Infantry and ITB, Infantry Training Battalion. And at the end, they basically kind of put you where they need you. You know, you'll still be in 03, but if they need a heavy weapons man, like a machine gunner or some shit, you might get stuck there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But then I also heard from another guy that I follow on Tumblr that even if you get put into weapons battalion in ITB and SOI, when you get to the fleet and you get to your unit and you're in your grunt unit, they still might put you as an 0311, but you were trained with M60s and shit. Cool. You know, well-rounded Marine. Kill? Yeah. Um, if you go active duty, from what I understand, the worst thing you can do is go open contract because they'll put you wherever the fuck they want you. If they need, you know, shit cleaners, they'll make you a shit cleaner. So I wouldn't, unless you're head on desperate about just becoming a Marine, you don't give a fuck what your job is, which I highly discourage, and I wouldn't do that because that's all the wrong reasons. Um, then go 03, oh, not 03, but then go open contract. But other than that, at least have a mindset on what you want. Even if you don't pass the ASVAB score to get that job, at least know what you want. And then, you know, settle for less, settle for more. If you're smart enough and you can get an intel position or whatever, fuck it, go for it. All power to you. This video is getting kind of long. I'm going to wrap it up. I'll make another one soon. If you want to know more, let me know. Ask questions. I can always find out for you. But my suggestion for you, the person who messaged me on YouTube, is get a little bit in shape, but get in contact with a recruiter. Let them know that you're interested. Tell them that you're working out. Tell them what you want out of the Marine Corps up front and straight up. Don't bullshit them, because they'll bullshit you right back. And if they think that you're being an asshole or being a bullshitter, they won't even give you the fucking time of day. And I'm being honest with you. They have better shit to worry about and better shit to do than deal with someone that's going to dick them around all day. You know, if you set up an appointment, you make it your best bet to get to the appointment. You know, don't bullshit them. You know, they're there to help you. They're there to get you to get your goal of becoming a United States Marine. They're not there to fucking hold your hand and, you know, if you're bored, talk to you. No, be fucking serious about it. Because that's the one thing that pisses me off is people that sit there and they say, oh, I want to do this, but then they don't either have the fucking balls or they're just little shithead liars. Alright, so before I get out of hand and this gets into like the friggin' like 30-minute zone, I'll leave it at this. Ask me more questions if you need. I'll try to, you know, I'll talk more about my experience, and I will be making videos on my journey back into trying to get back into shape and getting into the redepping in, and or whatever you want to call it, getting back into the DEP program, and hopefully leaving to my journey again to become a United States Marine. Alright guys, well, this is getting really long, so LCA 3374 out. Stay moto, guys.